What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of our weekly Sorare MLB and all things Sorare podcast. We got an excellent one for you tonight. But first, not even going to ask you how you are. Big shout out to the man below me, Jacob, whose birthday is tomorrow. As of recording this, it's Monday. His birthday is September 12th. So big happy birthday to Jacob.
Heck yeah.
I hope you win 12 awards this week.
Ooh, that'd be
I
good.
don't think I have 12
present.
teams. On my screen, you're on the bottom, so you're like pointing
at myself
at the record button. Yeah.
Let's see. But on my screen, which it's recording off of, it's all good because Jacob, you're on the bottom.
Oh.
Yep. So it's all good.
It's like I knew.
Yeah. I think you and I probably have the same layout, Josh, except we're probably flipped with each other.
Yep. That makes sense. Wait, are you on the left or the right?
I am on the right.
Oh, no, I'm on the right.
What the heck?
See,
I'm on the right.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
We figured something out. Zoom puts the yourself on the right. Okay. Got it.
I feel like I figured that out in 2020, but maybe not. I don't know.
Fair enough. You're smarter than we are. But
hey, there's things you don't need to know about 2020, though.
That's true. Bad year. Good year, bad year.
Bad year. No sports.
Terrible.
People died.
Yes.
Okay.
That is a morbid start to the podcast.
Yeah, you know.
Okay, now that Jacob got his birthday shout out.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Oh, okay.
Regarding birthdays.
Ooh.
What age do you have to be to start complaining about being old? Because I turned 27. I don't think 27 is old enough. You can be like, ooh, I feel so old, blah, blah, blah. But you can't actually be like, wow, I'm almost 50. Wow, I'm almost this age at. Because I feel like there are people my age that'll be like, oh, I'm so old. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
I don't think you have the right to say that yet. What age do you think?
I think there's a certain threshold that you cross when you turn 30. I'm not saying that you're old. I'm just saying it's a certain number that you're crossing into. But in terms of like old, I would probably say like I feel like 50. Like that's half a century.
50,
like that's
not
the
even
number.
40. Dang.
Nah, 40 is the new 30, man.
No.
What?
I don't know.
I think it's all based on just like what you're it's all relative. To quote a good guy named Josh, it depends, as he drinks the most disgusting drink I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Get that crap out.
What is that?
It's called Prime.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just because they sponsored Bayern Munich, do you think Prime will never? You know, I will personally turn down $1 million deal from Jake Paul because I don't want that associated with the podcast.
Good thing it's not Jake Paul.
It's Logan.
It's just as bad.
I still don't understand the difference between the two. I don't actually believe that they're different people.
They're really not.
Anywho, what I was going to say before I got distracted, from a sports standpoint, I think again, like it's and what is the funny thing? When I was learning soccer, I was really surprised when I was researching goalkeepers and I saw so many of them that were playing at 37, 38. And I was like, what? Like, are these guys going to just retire tomorrow? Like, what do you mean they're the starting goalkeeper for Germany or for Spain? And it was I could not believe it. But so obviously it depends on the position. You know, Tom Brady finally retired from an NFL at the, I think, age of 44. Don't quote me on that.
3, 4, 2, something.
So yeah, 43, 44.
Old enough.
So I don't know. So I think, again, like from a sports standpoint, if you're getting into your upper 30s, you're probably old. You know, like Ronaldo's old, but Messi's not. I'm going to say that.
Ronaldo's
not
old, but Messi's not. Okay.
Wow,
there's a bit of a baseline.
Yeah.
All right.
At some point, Messi will cross to being old, but to be honest, it's not the same number for everyone. So I think there's some people that have yet. Exactly. Some people have yet to be old where they just like they don't let their age affect them. So I mean, like, look at last year, Tom Brady. I know we're a baseball podcast. I'm trying to think, like Albert Pujols, perfect example. Even I love him, Miguel Cabrera. At some point you hit a plateau. You can't keep playing forever. And I think at that point you're old.
Fair enough.
I like it.
What
from a
about in
baseball
terms of
standpoint.
like us common folk that are not professional athletes?
Just turn into Ronaldo
Yeah.
when
Okay.
you get old.
All right.
Yeah, whenever you start to feel like Ronaldo, you're like, shoot, I'm old now.
Yeah.
That's sound reasoning. That makes
Mhm.
sense. Wow.
It's a mindset, though.
How'd you guys do so rare wise this past weekend? I'll start. I accidentally I was swapping out a rare and a limited into my rare all-star lineup. And I meant to put the limited in and I put the rare in.
Oh,
DNP pitcher, yeah. It was in my
Good.
flex spot. It could have been anybody. And I meant to put in a hitter, and that was my best lineup. I could have won a reward if I just would have put the right guy in there. Put in Seager, put in Altuve, put in anybody. But it's all right. They consolidated the coins, the reward system,
they
so you
did.
no longer have to click through each of your coin rewards. That's pretty great.
yes. Love
So I
that.
still got my coin rewards this week.
you go.
Anyways, last week during the week though, I did finish 14th in limited pro, and got
Let's
a
go.
rare Gleyber Torres.
Nice.
I don't know how to pronounce it like that.
Oh, that's
Gleyber
nice.
Torres. That's how you say his name.
That's
That's a
Yeah,
sick
middle
reward.
infielder, middle and corner infielder, in fact, because he has a DH designation. And that's what I needed. I needed a starting midfielder, honestly.
there you go.
Too many pitcher awards. Every other rare player that I had won tier 3 and above, besides Adolis Garcia, was a pitcher. Every single one. Pablo Lopez, Sonny Gray, Joe Musgrove.
Sonny Gray twice, right?
Sonny Gray twice, correct. So
Heck yeah.
whatever.
Andrew, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, what about you guys?
No, so going back to it, the related to the coin thing, have either of you purchased any boosts? Because I love that they've consolidated the coins, but I will admit it is kind of annoying that I have to click skip boost every single time I want to submit one of my lineups. I personally have not boosted any of my players. I think I'm strategically saving it for the playoffs hopefully this comes out very soon. But in their playoff long competition, the difference between 1 and 2 points could be the difference between you getting credit to the Sorare store and you not. So I'm going to prioritize my boosts for those game weeks. But I don't know. I still haven't like done the coins to boost costs to see if they're too expensive. But I don't know. Have you guys looked into that or thought about getting a boost?
Not yet. I'm the same way. I'm gonna look into it more in the postseason comes along. There's two things here. One, I'm holding out hope, which they will eventually add like real life merch to the shop. Which in fact, right now as we speak, they added Segunda, or it wasn't just Spanish league, but second league jerseys. Yeah. Do you had 15,000 sitting around?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, yeah, of course.
So, from football.
I have 12. Mark Hanna home run.
Let's go.
Oh, that was crushed.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm holding out hope for that way, but also using a boost in the playoffs. If they do some sort of similar thing to NBA last year, where you can accumulate rewards as you go on into the playoffs, that would be something to consider boost for too. Because Andrew, like you stayed consistent with your, what was it, limited champion contender, yeah, in NBA last season, and won 2 hats. We still
have to do a giveaway. We'll have to come up with something fun for that.
Is that what we're determined? Maybe, I don't know. It's an NBA hat, So should it be NBA season? I don't know.
I was to say, yeah, we have to do something like
yeah,
NBA
yeah.
special. NBA
That makes
special.
sense.
I like it. I like it.
We'll have to go to a gym and film ourselves playing basketball.
I like it. I'll go
I
to
like
the
that.
I'll go to the United Center to a Bulls game, and I'll just walk out on the
And
court
yeah.
and compete in some warm-ups.
You ever seen that video of the dude that wears
Wait,
it's
go
like
ahead.
he just
Wait, what were you
wore a
gonna say?
warm-up jacket or something? It's just a fan. Like a
He
warm-up
looked-
jacket and sweatpants, and then he just went on the court and started shooting and no one did anything about it.
But the dude did look like he was on the Golden State Warriors. He looked like
He looked like Clay.
Clay.
He looked
yes.
like Clay,
He
yeah.
actually did look like Clay. To be honest, like
Yeah.
I think again, like the professional security working at the Warriors arena, all of them like looked at him and were like, "Yep, that's Clay." So yeah, again, I think you have to look and you have to be of a certain height. You know, like I'm 6 foot and I don't think they would turn me away in a heartbeat.
Who's this
Unless-
short
un-
white man?
Unless the only thing I could play is like maybe they just think I'm some crazy guard from like Lithuania, or I just like have to
Oh, there
play
you
like
go.
I don't speak any English,
There you go.
and you know I don't know, my accents are not very good.
You
So I
can
don't
be
think I
like
could.
our boy Jonas Valanciunas.
Yeah, it's true.
You just have to look like you belong, and then you're good.
You have to have the confidence.
Act like you're supposed to be there.
I believe he's from Lithuania.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nash, Andrew, any rewards?
I did not win anything.
Love it.
I've been on kind of a
Coins.
coins though. I did 500 coins.
Hey, at least
I'm
you
up
say
one
your
boost.
lineups.
I'm up to 3,000. I have not gotten any coin boost. I haven't even thought about it really. I didn't even consider for the playoffs. Like Jacob, I'm kind of holding out hope for like a baseball jersey or something in the coin shop. So we'll see. I might save it for that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is.
Let me ask you this real quick. So if you have a full team of a certain rarity of cards that are hurt or not going to score that high, but you can fit them into a lineup that you aren't going to play, are you putting them in there to get coins? Because you can get coins even with the DNP lineup. It's just like,
Oh, really?
isn't it? As long as you play a lineup that scores more than 0 points, you get coins for it.
So you have to have someone that doesn't DNP though.
Right.
Okay.
So there's been a few times where I've actually played a lineup versus in training in like limited national league or something and gotten a few extra coins that way. I mean, there's been a few times, so it's just something else to build up those coins for. And I mean, an extra, if you did it twice a week, once each game week, it's almost an extra 100 coins. That's boosts. You got a free boost for the playoffs ready to go by the time the playoffs come around. So I don't know, just something else to consider, I guess.
Yeah.
There's really not a disadvantage to doing that, right? You still get the percent
So look at the
boost.
XP, yeah.
So
The training XP.
or XP, yeah, it's a better word.
Training, even though it's not in training, yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Let's talk baseball, man. Is that copyright? Let's
Wait.
talk baseball.
Andrew, what about your rewards?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
I
You gotta ask the whale.
Yeah. Hello.
know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to skip you
No,
there.
no, you're good.
I'm just excited about baseball.
Baseball.
I had a very good week. My teams are coming together again. Like I have a lot of Astros, and they're just they played their hearts out. I finished top 50 in both limited or rare all-star and limited pro. So I won a Yanir Diaz and a John Gray, which I'm very excited about. I did actually sell out of most of my good rares. I kept 4. So now I'm building back up. Again, I put that money towards football. I didn't take it out of the platform. But now I'm back to plus 6 rares, which is really exciting. I don't know if I'm going to keep Diaz, to be honest, because I still don't really like catchers. And unlike Wilson Contreras, he doesn't play every single game because he does not DH or he does DH, but not always. I don't know. So I might sell him, but John Gray for me is a hold. I bought his limited earlier this year. Again, like if the Rangers make the playoffs, then I'll have a playoff pitcher. If not, he'll be fine for next year.
He's a young pitcher.
Yeah.
He looks old though. I actually did not know he was young. I'm going to be honest. How old? No, he's 31. That's old.
31. No, for a pitcher.
For a pitcher, that's not that old.
I think 31 is younger. It's not like he's Eudy Perez and he's 19.
True.
But you didn't win Rich Hill.
Also true.
Yeah, Corbin Burns is 30.
Hey,
would you consider Burns old?
How old is Burns?
Isn't he 30?
He's 30?
29?
He's got to be around there somewhere.
I think, and again, it's all relative. Like, I don't really like starting pitchers that are above 32, 33. But yeah, that's my preference. They can go close games. I don't know, but I think you run a little bit of a risk when you have a guy that's your arm falls off. Josh, how old is Corbin Burns?
Corbin Burns is 28 years old.
Yes. See, he's a youngin'. He's young.
I don't know.
Wait, do we know John Gray's age
Yeah,
for sure?
Yeah,
I
he's 31.
I looked him up on his Sorare profile.
Either way, he will be around for years to come. So it's not like you got personally, I won a while back a tier 5 Miguel Cabrera.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
I'm gonna keep. It's not like I'm gonna sell him for $1, like whatever.
Right.
But he's also not going to be usable in a month. Unless they do something craziness.
But think about this. You'll have a very good bonus for your Detroit Tigers collection.
I know.
That's the team you really want to have a boost for.
I mean,
we'll talk about it later in this episode, but next year they got some young talent, man. They could be, I'm not saying they're going to be good, but they'll be better next year.
There you
and
go.
For years to come.
I think that can be better than this year.
Which is not saying a lot.
Eduardo Rodriguez stayed, man.
Yeah.
He didn't leave.
He did. Well, now I'm ready to talk baseball because
we've been talking baseball the whole time.
Yeah, you're right. But there's something very circumstantial that just occurred in the Brewer game. Sorry, I have 2 baseball things that I want to talk about, and they're both Brewer things. So it just sounds like I'm talking about the hometown team. But they called up Josh Donaldson today, which I am a huge not fan of. How would you say that? I'm not a huge fan of. Yes.
Exactly that. The way you just said
it. I'm not a huge fan of. He just grounded into a double play in his first at bat.
Wow.
He's I don't know. I've only heard bad things about him. And they sent down Owen Miller, who seems like a really good person.
Wisconsin.
Yeah. So that's kind of not great. But anyway.
I don't know. I mean, so I've heard negative things about his clubhouse presence. That's something that he needs to work on. If he's gonna play in the MLB, like he's got to figure his stuff out. So that's
right.
I don't know about that, but from a pure baseball standpoint, he's a former MVP.
It's true.
Yep.
Yeah. He is a former MVP that I feel like maybe his ego got to his head a little bit. And then all of a sudden he's like unlikable in the clubhouse, at least according to stories we've heard. But who knows how that's going to go. Yeah, double play, it sucks, but I'm not completely against it. But I'm also not like, wow, what a great move the Brewers made in the trade deadline, signing Josh Donaldson to a minor league contract.
Right.
So,
yeah. But the other thing is, unless Andrew, do you have anything to comment on Josh Donaldson?
No, if you Google him, the first picture, I think he's stretching, but he's got his bat behind his head. He looks like he's about to slam it, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he's like doing like a stretch, like a tricep stretch, like before. Yeah, he's been a while. Hey, I know we like to play Immaculate Grid, so he's actually not a bad guy for the Immaculate Grid since he's been on a lot of teams and now the Brewers too.
That is true.
He's a good Immaculate Grid play. Okay, wait. How many different MLB teams has Josh Donaldson played for, and can you name them as I pull up his Fangraphs baseball profile?
Okay. He started on the A's. He's a rookie on the A's. He was then traded to the Twins. Was that next? Or am I missing a few teams?
You are missing 2 teams in between the A's and the Twins.
Okay. I know he played for the Yankees, but that was after.
That is after.
Yep. Why am I blanking here? I can get this. He was on the Braves for a bit. I think Braves was the second team he played for, or was it the third team he played for?
That was the third team he played for.
Okay. So in between A's and Braves, he went to the
with Jose Bautista.
Yeah, he went to I knew that.
The Blue Jays.
I knew that. Yeah, I could have. You know why? Is I was going down the East Coast, and I totally started at New York.
Yeah.
And then Twins, and then Yankees, and then
Blue Jays, Twins, Yankees,
then Brewers,
and now Brewers. Yeah. How about that?
That's
there we go.
Pretty good.
We did it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I like that.
5 teams. 5
Former
teams.
MVP. Crazy.
And was the MVP season with the Blue Jays?
Yes. No. It was with the Twins, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Or was it? No, was it with the A's?
Let's see.
Because he's hated in Minnesota.
He batted .314 in 2015. That's got to be the MVP season.
2014. Okay, so he was
2015. Excuse me, 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good line.
He is 37. Is that old?
That is old.
You should see his hair. He's very gray.
Is he?
Yes, he's like full
unlike
gray.
John Gray. Unlike John Gray, his hair is actually gray.
Who's very orange.
John
Gray is very orange.
I like it.
Oh, that's good.
John Lemon.
But yeah, the other big thing that happened was yesterday in the Brewer game. It was Brewers Yankees. It was one of the craziest games I think I've ever watched. And probably one of the worst Brewers games I've ever watched in terms of the outcome. But to summarize, the Brewers no-hit the Yankees through 10 innings, but also didn't score a run themselves. And then each team scored in the 11th, 12th, and 13th, correct?
No. 11th and 12th.
11th and so it's 12.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I added an extra inning.
And then Brewers did not score on the 13th.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Right. But yeah, so the Brewers scored, the Yankees tied it, the Brewers scored 2, the Yankees hit a home run, scored 2, then Brewers did not score, and then the Yankees walked it off and won, what was it, 4-3?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Crazy. They won a game after getting no hit for 10 innings.
Yeah, that's crazy.
One of the craziest games I've ever seen.
I don't know if that's ever happened before, but it probably that might have happened. But then to keep going until the 13th inning, maybe not.
Right.
It's pretty crazy.
Who knows, man?
You know what else?
Whatever
has not happened before. Jose Altuve became the first player in MLB history to hit 5 home runs in a span of 7 innings, and the 4th player in Astros history to hit multiple home runs in back-to-back games. He is your AL Player of the Week for August 4th through 10th. And this is his 5th time he's ever won this award, and the 2nd time he's done it this season. Definitely part of the Astros resurgence, and a huge contributor to my fantasy performance midweek.
Same.
Yeah, I had him in the wrong lineup again. I cannot
I did
put
not.
my best people together, but it was still worth it because I actually won a John Gray limited because of him.
No way.
Then I
John
followed
Gray
it with the
is
rare.
gonna have to.
He's
He's making his way to your Mount Rushmore.
He
There you
is.
go.
But
Another
yeah,
Astros
Altuve.
stat, dude. Kyle Tucker, also on my team,
Short king.
hit 2 triples in an inning yesterday. 2 triples in an inning, and that's something that is, I think, it's even harder.
Yeah.
Not what Altuve did necessarily. 5 in 7 innings. Did you say 5? No.
No. So he in 7
It's-
consecutive innings. Yes. So it's a span of 2 games.
That's nuts. 7
Yeah.
That's
consecutive.
crazy.
So I think the night before he homered in like the 6th and then like the 8th inning. Then the next day he hit 3 home runs in the next game. He went home run. He hit home run, day off, or then the next day home run in 7 innings. Like
That's insane.
Like that's like MLB the Show. I can dream.
Yeah.
Dude, they got the trash cans working again.
Yeah. Because you also need your team to perform too to get that many at bats.
Right.
Yes.
In that many innings. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. That's a very good point because like you need to have people bat around because if you're not getting the opportunities, then
this was against the Rangers, right? That series.
I think so.
Mhm.
John Gray was probably pitching.
Oh no!
The Astros put up so many runs that
was bad news bears for the Rangers, man.
Yeah,
they went crazy. Yeah, they put up 13, 14, and 12 in 3 games.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Everyone's
insane.
Braves. But last week, and I'm sticking with them. I'm like the Astros, man. They're going to be the same as last year. They're always.
They're always. It's like the Chiefs in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's like you can't.
It's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they lost, but
for years to come, even though they lost.
Like does Man City ever go through like a bad stretch? Or
they did.
I mean, 30 years ago,
back in the day.
I'm saying like in the last couple of years, like it's just they're just so good. So I don't know. I feel like they're just so dominant that it's like the Chiefs got Man City, and then I think for me for baseball it's the Astros. You never count out the Houston Astros.
Just think about like 2005 Astros when they were still in the National League.
They were really bad in the National
They were
League.
horrible. Yeah.
They were always,
what the heck?
They were really bad for a
last
long
place.
time.
Did they get bought by somebody rich? They probably did, right?
They went to the American League, and then I mean their farm system started getting really good. But I mean multiple factors. Let's build us a team.
Whoa.
Wait, I got one more fun fact from the weekend.
Oh, let's do it.
Keep going, man.
So speaking of Jose Altuve and the home runs, which is crazy. The Baltimore Orioles on Saturday beat the Boston Red Sox 13-12. And it was the first time a team lost after recording 23 hits in a game. The Red Sox hit 23 hits, 12 runs, and lost 13-12 to the Orioles, which is just crazy.
A lot of firsts, or at least like rare occurrences, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
unusual.
It's a very weird time of year for baseball because you have teams that are just like getting ready for their postseason runs, teams that are just, I don't know, there's no way you're not taking your foot off the gas a little bit. I mean, you're still playing for a contract. And actually, that's what we're going to talk about. So maybe if we do think like non-playoff teams aren't going to try, then maybe that does impact what we're going to talk about next. But I don't think that's the case. I think every game people are going out, no matter if they're 40 and 80 at this point, or if they're 80 and 40. I think you're trying to win. Although, what if your team, man? Did you also see the Braves magic number is 8? If you get to a point, will they just not play their starters anymore? Like, will they?
No.
I don't think you can afford to.
This is not We're not doing this discussion again.
Did we
This is
do it
not
before?
Mbappe in round 4 of qualifying stages in the World Cup. I mean,
Oh yeah, we
stats,
did talk about this. Yeah.
every every sport has its own stats and sabermetrics and so on and so forth. But baseball is above and beyond. With every single little tiny thing you go on Baseball References, there's 31 categories of offensive stats. 31 or something like that. Or maybe that's pitching. Either way. Yeah, I think that's pitching, where there's 31 different categories of stats.
Wow.
And the thing about those is that each one of those is being tracked for every single player. So stats in baseball just have a little extra motivation behind them, maybe.
Right.
Little extra, even, I mean, I don't know. But it's always been a stat game. And especially too, players are playing for the contracts. How are you supposed to prove yourself if you can't hit sitting on the bench?
Right. True.
Yeah. So
I agree with the hit. What about pitchers though? Like if you're the Braves manager, are you really like if Spencer are you really making if Spencer Strider can give you 7 innings, do you really want him working up his pitch count going into the postseason?
pitchers could be an exception to the rule. Definitely shutting down innings. Maybe
Yeah,
not shutting down completely.
I wasn't say not skipping, maybe
Well,
skip
yeah,
a
you're
start,
not,
but like,
yeah. No, I don't think
they're
that
still
it's
gonna
just,
pitch.
you might again like one of the most important Sorare MLB stat categories is innings pitched. And again, maybe this time of year going into the playoffs, some of your better pitchers might actually see their inning usage go down
Right.
if their manager is trying to monitor that. So we'll see.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we will see for sure is right. But let's I guess we'll take that in consideration looking at our
Yes.
team. So I
Let's
guess
see.
we're gonna kind of discuss, instead of more off building a team, we're gonna kind of get into the deep depths of who, not as an investment necessarily, because we try and stray away from buy this guy to make money off of an investment because he'll be worth something. But ooh, look who's on top. I just put an offer in for his card today.
Oh.
But I mean, there's players that are not playing or playing on not playoff teams that we can also look for. We're not necessarily just building a team of Acuna, Olsen, Otani, and
Right.
I guess Woodruff's the top pitcher right now over the past
Yeah.
week, huh? How about that?
So look at this. So Garrett Cole sells for more than Brandon Woodruff and Pablo Lopez. Pablo Lopez is a surefire playoff pitcher.
Right.
Garrett Cole is not.
No, he's not. He's very much not a playoff pitcher this year.
He's not. And Blake Snell. Blake Snell also sells for more than Pablo Lopez, but is also not going to be a playoff pitcher this year. Wow. So, I mean, have we announced what we're going to talk about, or we're looking to see?
Yeah.
Do we? Well, do we Do we build? If you are a new manager or looking to expand your team, should you look at guys that will be part of the playoffs this year, or are those guys overinflated and it'd be better for you to start looking towards the future? Because again, unlike typical fantasy baseball, Sorare, it's like the ultimate keeper league. You can, if you pick up a Blake Snell or a Garrett Cole today, you can use them next year. Your utility is not ending at the end of the season. So again, like I would expect looking at this list that guys that are on playoff-esque teams to be selling for more. But I mean, we can look at more, but that does not seem to be the case, at least from a starting pitcher standpoint.
Oh yeah, real quick, go search Matt Olson, because Matt Olson had a super hot July going into August.
Yeah.
And then very much cooled off since.
Is he first base or is he starting?
He's first base. He's first base.
First base.
I want to see if his price remained the same, is going up because of playoffs, or has gone down because he's on a cold streak. Go to his like 3-month
Yeah.
average here.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, just looking, it's
Just click
interesting
on
to
him.
see the
Yeah.
sort. Yeah. I know.
Let's look at his graph. Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of, it looks
This is
like
1 month.
Give me three.
It's
Okay.
dropping. Definitely a little bit on
Oh,
a down
look at
slope.
that.
So
who bought him?
Oh, wow, look at that.
Wow.
It looks like, well, obviously it's not to where it was in June, but it's leveled out to his max. He was selling for 120 at one point. His limited card. Go do a year. What was his original price like in the off season? Holy cow.
Wow.
Yeah, again, like not very many transactions, but yeah, he's having a great year.
Yeah.
His price ran up obviously at the beginning of the season, like we usually see. It came back to earth, but yeah, this has got to be when he just started putting on the jets, literally. And now his like price is very much in line with probably his like changes in form. Like if we look, I would love, Laird, if you're listening, to see an overlay of price and SO5 scores. Because again, I think for him, it would probably be pretty correlated, where he's putting up a 57, and that's a single game. That's insane. That's insane. 47 in a single game.
A lot of green at the end of June, and that's
very
when his price
dark.
He's going back into the green. Look at like August 11th through September. It all of a sudden dropped off and on his graph. But I guess Olsen's only one sample size here, but if you were to invest in someone like that going into the playoffs, you can look at his price from last off season, and granted, it's not going to drop that low again to $20 because of the season he's had, but it'll probably be cheaper come probably even November. I would, or at least I would assume the Braves as a team will trend down the closer we get to the end of the season, as will all cards.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm getting at is that if you're going to go for a big player, personally, right now, I would go for someone who's maybe still playing this year, and you can build a team that's playing this year. But if you're going to base your team around one player, maybe base it around someone who is good but is not on a playoff team.
Yeah. And is Matt Olson, so here, if we filter it to the last L40, I mean, looking at all of these options that you can have, I know Matt Olson does it a little bit more consistently than like Max Muncy even, but that price difference is so stark where if I'm on a budget, even at the rare or the limited level, like, I don't know. It's funny. I don't think Max Muncy is old.
Oh, no.
I'm so off course here, but I don't know. He doesn't seem that old to me. I mean, maybe if I'm playing the age factor, I'd go with a Bregman. So
I was looking at Bregman actually. Yeah, I mean, look even Pete Alonso's half of Olson's price.
But that likely, his utility is going to end at the end of this season. So Gunnar Henderson, look at that youth. Got many more years than Matt Olson has. $43, which is amazing to see. So I don't know. I don't
look at Austin Riley, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's even more than Olson for a corner infielder. That's crazy.
Yeah. So maybe there is some sort of like everyone that maybe there is a Braves premium, almost like we see like a Man City premium, or I don't even know, like just everyone even for people that don't know baseball as well, they know the Braves are good. So maybe we missed some tweet from somebody that told everyone to go buy Braves players, because that's certainly what it looks like here. But I mean, Alec Bohm, whatever you want to say it.
How about
Yandy
Yandy?
Diaz?
Yeah.
I mean, again, like these guys are literally like a seventh of the price of. And again, I would rather have Riley or Matt Olson on my team, but I can get 7 Alec Bohms for
Alec
one
Bohm, baby.
of them. I don't know. That's just, it's hard for me to spend that budget on just one player.
Oh yeah.
I really
Especially
do
once
think
that
there's
budget approaches the $100 mark too.
Yeah, right.
right. I think there's players out there on playoff teams or potential playoff teams, I should say, that you can get that will not only be competitive in the playoffs for your Sorare team, but will also be helpful for your team upcoming in the next season. I think that's kind of the other route of investing into a playoff team right now is kind of skipping the playoffs in a way and investing into a team for next year. I think we'll start to see prices of non-playoff players kind of start to drop a little bit. I just looked at Bobby Witt's price. It's down 10-ish bucks in the last month already. And those are players that are young and are going to be competitive for a long time and will be competitive.
Go
next
to middle
season.
infielder. Just go to middle infielder instead of doing that. Yeah.
Let's see. Yep, great example.
Dang,
It's
Trey
also
Turner. Go to Turner's graph real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, what were you gonna say real quick?
It's also kind of funny to see though, like how many of the top people are on a playoff team. Like if we look, I know I hate L15 sort, but if we sort by L40 before we go to Turner, okay, yep, Turner probably.
Oh yeah,
Seager
Eventually,
maybe, probably.
yes.
Tatuvi, yes. Simeon, probably. Lindor,
No. Royce Lewis, yes.
yes.
Willie
Contreras, yes.
most likely.
Hopefully, Albies, yes.
Ooh, skip over that quick.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Didn't
yeah.
see that. Mitch Garver, yep. So yeah, I mean,
go back up here. I'm looking at William Contreras. He will, for the Brewers, if they make the playoffs, he will DH or catch.
He'll play
He
every
will
game.
play every game, even
He
though
will.
he's a catcher. Because he does that almost every day originally.
Yep.
So that's a catcher that you could, or a middle infielder. Look at that. Also on a hitting streak. Also,
look at him compared to every other
300
player
last
in
40.
price. Look at him compared to everybody else around him.
Yeah.
He's not only
$8.
he's like a third or more less than everybody else.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's come back here.
Let's look at your trade trend. I'm curious. 20.
Let's look at outfielders.
Yeah, he's been going crazy.
So give me his year-long graph.
If the season was only this month, would we have been right on our MVP pick?
Hey, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's true.
My God.
That's crazy. That score graph is nuts.
Yeah. That's pretty wild. And I'm sure if we look.
Yeah. I'm curious
graph,
to see how low he got, like May.
We'll look
June.
at 1 year. Yeah, so he was slumping all the way down to $25, which is pretty much what you could get him
at the
for
end of the season. Yeah,
end of the season when people said, "I want to play football."
Look at beginning of okay, that's probably the one of at the top.
Yeah, but or just these off-season transactions, hard to put any weight in them.
Yeah, but still, look at that.
Yeah, to start the season, ran up again. I think that's when we made our MVP pick of him. He was. And then it quickly became obvious that form was a little bit overhyped.
Yeah.
And he came down to earth.
But he's back, baby.
He is.
He's back in a big way.
Also,
Phillies look dangerous.
Sorare data feature request.
Another one.
I love that we can see the individual games, which is helpful from football. But unlike football, players have multiple games per game week. So I would love to have a feature where you could group by game week, because it's awesome to see that he scored 40. But like, I want to know, like, if I play him in a specific game week, what's he been averaging? And that I don't believe is possible today. I could be wrong. Laird, again, if you're watching, call me out, or if anyone that knows Laird or anyone at Sorare Data, let us know. I'll probably tweet him out, see if that'd be a cool feature request. But because again, like it's cool to see like all of these, but it's like, what would that actually mean if I played him for a game week? Because I'm not going to just get the 30. I'm probably going to get the 30, the 3, and probably the 9. So like that matters more than like a single game.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And there's so many dots, it's impossible to try and figure like
Oh yeah.
they look like they're stacked on top of each other at some points. So it's like so hard to tell which one's which.
Yeah.
You could go by the date, but it's a lot
Just
of work.
zoom in, bro.
But then I have to do addition. I can't do math. I have to do addition and be like, okay, well, this one, and then it's like, oh crap. But yeah, what were you gonna say before I wanted my feature?
No, I was just saying let's go back. Let's go back and then let's go real quick to outfielders.
Yeah.
And see again here. Because then I'm gonna make a proposal here for all of the positions combined.
Wow, very expensive for
Julio
the top.
was going for about 50-60 bucks when I won his auction.
Let's look at them.
Included with the
Let's
baseball.
look at Jacob's name on the price graph.
Okay, hello. It's probably number one on the
No,
top.
it's one of the top ones.
Oh yeah.
But he did get a signed baseball, so
Oh,
Hey,
that wasn't
someone
the most
way-
expensive.
Way overpaid. No, I'm joking.
you
He
way
got the
overpaid.
baseball. He got the baseball. with
Yeah.
him.
So now it's like I've even made. I mean, if I were to sell the baseball, which I'm not, obviously.
Yeah. That baseball probably went up in value too. So
That's
Very
true.
there's no
That is
way.
true.
I mean, yeah, let's look at this.
Especially if he wins World
Recent
Series
scores.
MVP.
Wow. That's
Yeah, he's
some
been going
big,
crazy too.
big boy scores right there.
Yeah, but he's not someone who we're looking to buy for our hypothetical team here. It's just too expensive.
Yeah. But
Look
again,
at all of these prices
but they're
of
all
these
playoff
players.
players.
Outfielders are-
Yeah, they
These
are
are all
all
playoff
playoff players.
Marcelo Zuna
Corbett strikes
also
out.
on the Braves.
Except
No Braves premium with
Tyler
him.
Ward.
Taylor Ward has been kind of hurt.
Yep.
And is on the Angels.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do what
they're
you want
not
with
making the
Angels.
Ozuna at $17, man. That might be the
Man, is
best
there
you
some?
can.
Yeah.
$17 for Ozuna. He's a big power hitter.
Dude, do you know who's been going off? Who has outfield utility?
Let's see.
Mark
Let's look at that
Canha.
L15.
Oh, Mark Canha. He's probably
Also-
like
Is
$3.
he gonna be in? Well, he's been going off really recent. So there's like an L5. Let's see where he is. Mark. So he has an
$2, yep.
L5.
Let's go.
8.1.
Look
Not
at
a
that. He's
bad.
in 389.
Probably a lot higher in the
Wow.
last 5, but yeah, if we go
Yeah,
back
I mean, players
up.
getting hot going into the postseason. Heck yeah. But
Yeah,
I mean,
so
even this is a position that's looking like you're gonna have to spend a little bit more on.
Yeah. Or maybe you go the route where you get 2 of them and then you go like you just play matchups, or I don't know. Because man, if you drop some coin and you bet on the wrong team like last year, if you went all in on the Stros, you know.
Yeah, that's why it's like maybe not buy a playoff team right now, or if you are, stay on the cheaper side.
Yeah.
Right.
But then here comes this argument. It's like, why would you spend your money on a cheaper playoff team when you can get better quality players for the longevity, for the long term? So let's go. What I was going to say is if you go back to middle infielders and look at top player, we've already mentioned him this week, top player of the past month, Jose Altuve. What the heck was that? The bottom?
Yeah. Who cares
Crazy.
about the bottom?
Yeah. So his 3-day average is $40.
Yep.
But he was very injured to begin this season. He was on and off the IL, starting with the World Baseball Classic. Came back, was on the IL again. So pretend that this happened and was going into the off season. Let's look at his price graph. We don't need to look at his scores.
So we know he's good.
But let's look and see what his price was when he was injured. Because I want to say it was almost down, to almost
15.
$10. Yep.
15, $10.
And I remember almost wanting to sell him because I was like, he's just sitting on my bench. But I was like, no, we're going to keep him. Another former MVP. He's batting .312 now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I was just like, nah, we're keeping him. And sure enough, obviously his price has gone back up, but also it's worth to look at how low his price got and invest. Maybe if you invested in him when he was hurt, you would have at least doubled your investment solely on price. And also look at what he would have brought to your team. 312, 16 home runs. He steals a decent amount.
Yeah.
So when it comes to this sort of thing, I think looking into next year might be the better call.
But I agree. But the thing is, like, who on this list besides Bobby Witt, like, who would be an example of a player? Like, every guy I'm looking at, they're already playoff players.
I mean, yeah,
maybe
also
maybe
expensive.
Abrams
could be
or
a fun investment.
yeah, Abrams.
O'Neal Cruz could be a fun investment.
O'Neal Cruz.
He's been out all year.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the player I'm looking at, is someone who's injured or someone.
Lieber Torres, we talked about him at the top of the hour.
Like 13.29. Let's look at Mike Trout. How much is
Aaron
Trout
Judge
selling for? Aaron Judge.
Mike Trout recently announced the Angels will listen to trade offers.
Heck yeah.
So potentially
Yeah, okay.
traded.
So based on this,
$42 is his floor.
Yeah.
For his limited.
That's crazy.
So I mean, like, this is, if we looked probably at Altuve's L5 and L15 like 1 month ago, this is probably what we would have seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's see that graph, baby. Yeah, steady decline.
Yeah. I know we're not a trading show, but yeah, this is, again, I would say that Trout has never sold for less. This just looks like an anomaly. But yeah, I mean, looking towards the future, getting a guy like Trout, maybe not a bad idea. I might pick one up myself.
Well,
Heck yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, it looks like you already did, first and foremost.
No,
I see that big green dot.
Where? What did I buy a Trout?
What? Did I buy a Trout?
Whoa.
He's so much of a whale that he forgets buying Trout.
No, I think I was trying to trade here. Did you know that if you zoom in on a part of the graph, you can zoom in on it?
Oh, because there's a sale right next to it.
I think I bought him and then I sold him.
Wow.
For the same,
you lost 30 cents? Wow, that's unfortunate.
I don't know what. Oh, I think I was trying to do like an off-season flip. I have no idea what I was thinking.
You traded with poop coin.
I did. That's pretty amazing. But yeah, and I guess I would have been underwater on that buy.
Yeah. So I mean, there you go. I mean, that's probably one of the lowest prices you'll see.
Yeah.
Of Trout right now.
Let's look at
40
Ohtani.
$40. And when you bought him, that was probably one of the lowest prices that he had back then. So this injured player route, I'm now like, dang, I need to start looking at my money. Look at that decline.
Look at that.
For Ohtani's selling for 113. This is
getting close to being under $100.
Exactly the same price that Messi dropped down to. And he went.
Now, the one devil's advocate I will play in that discussion, and I've heard it from other podcasts.
That's just a statement. That's not an argument.
So what if the overall market corrects itself and the price that a guy that puts up Ohtani scores is just lower than you bought at the injured price? When you buy an injured player, you're betting that the market remains the same. And that, I can speak from a football standpoint, has not been the case from a Sorare perspective. So that is the one thing. If the market was the same, yeah, buying every injured player would probably make you rich. But you do take a risk to say that at some point in time, in Ohtani puts up this type of scores, will sell for 340. I don't know. That might not actually ever happen again. So that is kind of buyer beware. I do think that's an important point to know. I know, Jacob, do you disagree, or do you have thoughts there?
You're coming at it from purely an investment standpoint, which again I like to stray away from.
Sure.
If you think Ohtani's going to start to score, put up those 13 averages again, put up those 40-point game weeks, then buying him at his all-time low is logical no matter what. You can't bet on the market crashing. You can't bet on the market going down. And if the market goes down or corrects itself, won't it do that with players that are also active anyways? So it doesn't matter if they're injured or not.
I'm saying, I guess if you're buying injured players as an investment, then of course, like you can go wrong there if the market is not the same in 3 months or 6 months when you are looking to sell the player once they're back healthy. Like here, let me look up.
Okay, so what if I bought a healthy player right now? What if I bought Julio Rodriguez and then the market crashed? Wouldn't he just go down too? Like, I don't think it matters.
So this is the kind of this. So I forget when this must have been when Florian. When did he tear his ACL? Or I don't know.
Beginning of the season, looks like.
But this is all time. This is way back in 2022. So again, you buy Florian, you're like, this is the lowest his price has ever been. I'm willing to sit on an injured, amazing player. And again, you would never have, probably you maybe would break even, but that is not
so what card did you buy in 2022 that is now gone up since then? None. It's all, the whole market's gone down. It doesn't matter if they're playing or not. It doesn't matter if they're injured or not. The whole market's gone. You can go to Messi's graph and it'll be the same way. You can go to let's say someone who isn't quote unquote old, young, whatever. Let's say Mbappe's graph. It'll probably be the same.
Oh, it will.
And it'll slope down.
The difference is I could play Mbappe, and with Wirtz, he's just sitting, rotting on my bench.
Yeah, but you can play next year. If we're talking about next year, you can play Trout next year. You can play Ohtani next year.
Nah, unless he has surgery, then he'll probably be out the.
Well, that's something you gotta pretend he's not gonna need surgery.
Sure.
Which some other injured players are not. Or you can buy him after he has surgery, like Altuve.
I'm just saying, like from a Wirtz perspective, the people that bought right during the injury or waited a year and bought then, they actually got a better deal by waiting. So again, like when you buy your player,
that's because the entire market crashed. It's not because the market corrected himself with his injury. It's because the entire SoRare market between all three sports dropped.
Correct.
Alfonso
and I'm just
Davies
saying,
for me.
When you buy an injured player, you are taking on the market risk. That is a fact.
When you buy any asset, you're taking on the market risk.
Right. And so again, in that decision, so versus waiting and spending your $500 later in a year when they're available. I'm just saying there is a risk to buying injured players.
Yeah, Josh, of course. But just the way you're coming at it for me doesn't make sense. Like if you bought a stock in the stock market and the entire economy crashed, it would go down. So if you bought any player, whether they were injured or not, and then it crashed, it would go down. Right. And a lot of those players that still start and were never injured during any sort of time have never reached that same price, no matter if they were injured or not. It's how the market has been. It's not because they were injured. It's not because of when people were, because of when people were buying them, but it's the main reason that they haven't reached that price in 2020, 2021, beginning of 2022 is because every single player has crashed.
Right. With any asset, if to get really technical with you, there's idiosyncratic and there's market risk. Idiosyncratic is specific to that asset. In this case, it's Wirtz's ACL, it's Ohtani's shoulder, it's Trout's knee, and then there's market risk. So to me, it's when you're buying an injured player, you're saying that the idiosyncratic risk on the player, the person specific risk will be better than the market risk. I don't know. I think, again, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate before everyone that listens to this pod goes out and buys injured players because they're like, this is great. I'm going to flip my money because we showed the graph of Altuve and he's doing great now. I'm just saying that, like, when you wait for the person to get back in form, you don't know what the market will look like then. And even if
you don't know what it'll look like for any player in a year.
Right.
It could crash. It could keep crashing. The entire market could keep crashing. And like, it doesn't matter.
I don't think
the difference
is
that an injured player you cannot use. There's no utility to an injured player. But if you buy a normal player, there's utility to them. So you're getting it's not a monetary, unless you win a reward, you're not getting a monetary benefit from having that player on your team if they're injured. But if they're not injured, you can use them. So what Andrew, I think, is trying to say is that the risk of buying an injured player is not only can you not use them currently until they become healthy again, but you also don't know if, like, let's say O'Neal Cruz comes back and hits 500 for the first month of the season next year, odds are his price is going to go up. But if he comes back and he hits 200, it might not. We also don't know what the market's going to look like at the beginning of next season, so you can't really predict that. But I think what Andrew's saying is that you're buying the player to get the utility of it, and an injured player doesn't have that.
But that's the whole point, was we're talking about buying injured players.
But so let me ask you. So then, why do you buy an injured player?
To hope that they're going to come back and perform like they used to in the past. Performance. They want to score the same. We try and stay away from investing in the podcast, and I feel like that's all of you guys have been worried about, is if their price is going to return to what it used to be. If I'm buying a Trout right now, it's because I want to have him next year, and hopefully he can hit 275 plus and 30 home runs. I'm not buying him because I hope he's worth $25 more in 6 months.
Yeah,
and if the market crashes, it doesn't matter if he's hurt or not, because his price won't return to where it was until the market corrects itself up.
Right. And you never know if looking at limited football cards, it may never be like what we saw back, in the day. And
go to Mbappe real quick before we round off the pod.
Sure, I'll humor you.
Mbappe all time.
Mbappe is a bad example because he was a U23 player and now he's not.
Okay,
so there's a lot of factors.
Tony Cruz.
That's another bad example though.
Price. Okay, let's go with a middle-aged player that is elite. Let's go with Marco Verratti.
Kimmich.
Joshua Kimmich. Perfect.
Kimmich is elite. Look at those scores. Beautiful, beautiful player. Although Sane's taken sets for Bayern, so we'll see about those scores.
Kimmich was in.
Yeah, look at when I was a whale. I bought a Kimmich.
So if you bought him in the same exact time that you bought anyone, his price wouldn't have even come close to when.
But the difference is, I won effing rewards when I bought Kimmich, and with Wirtz, I wouldn't have gotten any rewards.
Okay. It's September. You're buying an injured player for baseball. You have 1 month left of utility, if they're not in the playoffs. You bought him at the beginning of the season, in November, or not the exact beginning, but you got to use him the whole season. We're not in November. We're not in November in soccer terms. We're not in May in baseball terms.
Sure.
And if now is the time, if you want to invest in a player, not only for financial gain, but also for a score in fantasy, now is the time, with a month left in the season, to buy an injured player, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think in terms of an investment, in terms of utility into your team, it can be a great time to invest in terms of utility. You can get players cheaper right now that are injured and won't be playing the rest of the season. that you can use next year and hopefully score well.
Let me ask you this, and then we can transition to our little games at the end here to end it off. Would you rather buy Ohtani right now or buy him in May of next year?
I mean, I guess, you know, if I could see, I would buy him whenever he's cheaper.
That's not an answer. Go again. Try again.
I you know, I wouldn't buy him.
That's not an answer. Try again. Would you rather buy him now or in May? You can buy him now for his lowest price it's been ever, or you can wait.
I refuse to buy him now. Or
no, it's a hypothetical question. Nash, you answer my question. Would you rather buy Ohtani now or wait till next May? Because May you can have him for the whole season. His price will have dropped off from the preseason hype, hypothetically. Would you rather buy Ohtani then?
If you can afford to hold on to a limited card,
hypothetically,
if you can afford
you are
to hold on,
adding way too many factors to this.
Now, the answer
you have
you're looking
$5
for is
million
now.
And you can buy Ohtani now or in May. When do you buy him?
The answer you're looking for is now.
No, I want to. Yes, but I want to hear you back it up.
No, listen, if you would let me explain, then you would understand. If you can afford to have a $150 card in your So Rare gallery for the next 8 months that will do absolutely nothing for you, it will provide nothing for you, then you can buy him now, and odds are he'll be a better price now than he will be in May. But that's only if you can afford to hold them in your gallery. If you need that money to do something else, then you could probably wait and get them, and then you can use them in May.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is the explanation.
That's answering your question.
No, that's not answering my question, because I'm asking you directly. Do you buy him now or do you buy him in May? That is...
Okay.
There is one answer or the other.
Me personally, I'm buying him in May because I want to use that money to play NBA and football.
There you go. That is an answer. That is an answer.
But if I had $5 million, then I would buy him now because odds are he's going to be a better price now than in May.
There you go. That's the answer I was looking for. I know you don't have to agree with me. I just want an answer. That's
my honest answer.
There you go.
Although we'll see. I might invest in some injured players, and you never know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
What are we saying? What should we play?
You know, I mean, we are at the hour too. I think we've had a good discussion today.
Dude, let's go over under. We haven't done that in a while. It's been a few weeks.
Andrew still allows sharing. He still hasn't figured it
out.
Oh no.
I got you.
Straight into Google Chrome. MLB by the numbers. I always have to think about what it's called.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not
Uniform
the right one.
Number. You know, we need to start preparing Sporkle quizzes again.
Isn't it called MLB by the numbers?
Yes. MLB play.
Just go to
there it is. He's doing it. Now you gotta do that thing and do that one thing and sign in. Oh no. Are you already logged in? Nice.
I earned a badge. Angels Ballpark.
Zach Wheeler.
Angels Ballpark number 2. All right, let's run it. Oh
gosh, RBIs. This is tough already. Tim Anderson with a down year or Kike?
He's got to have more. He's got to have more.
It's got to be more.
52 is like nothing.
24. He wasn't even close.
Tim Anderson's terrible.
Matt Carpenter's got to be less. What? Okay, maybe
got one.
There we go.
Maybe
we should do the pickle instead.
It's gotta be
okay. We got two.
Now we're moving.
Oh, He's a catcher. I would probably say less, but
Really?
don't listen to me. Just click it. Click more. You went more. Nice.
Oof.
Trust your gut. Trust your gut.
I'd say less. Yeah. Ooh.
These are tough, man. I would probably say more.
Now.
That was
Close.
some of the
What?
hardest picks. You know what is? I bet if you got past the next one, there were probably some easy ones after that. Wow. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't have done that. Maybe we should have just done the pickle. That was rough. Ready? Guess one.
Who's guess one?
Josh Donaldson. John
Oh my
Gray.
God.
Oh
my-
my!
It's
Oh
close.
my God. I
It's a
thought-
Brewers player.
Oh, it's a switch
wait.
hitter. It's Santana.
No,
No, no, wrong
age.
age. No, it's the age. It's the
He's
age.
from the
It's the age.
USA.
It's the age.
It's Rowdy. It's Rowdy.
No,
Wait,
Rowdy's from
throws
Mexico.
right.
No, Rowdy's
bats
he's
left.
technically from the USA. I think he's distinguished. Oh, he's lefty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
duh, he
it just
throws lefty.
Yelich?
No, Yelich is lefty.
No, he bats
He
lefty.
throws righty though. He throws
Throws
righty.
righty.
Unlike
Good
Rowdy.
call.
Like it.
It's just
Sure.
Yelich, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it. My
It's not Yelich.
wow. Let's see here. It
Bryce
is
Terang.
going to be
No,
Stu
he's
Bryce.
close.
Oh, but he's 30. He's 30.
no guys. It's catcher.
Caratini?
Yes.
Is he from the USA?
Oh, I don't know.
Caratini. He's a switcher
Not from the
Puerto
US.
Rico.
Oh
Nice.
shoot, he's a switcher.
Close
That's
one.
right.
There could. Oh, it's Woodruff, dude. Woodruff bats
He's
lefty.
pitching right now.
Yeah. Is he old? He's 30.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, he's not old.
I
Pitcher
can't believe
right
we
now.
should have guessed him.
He's pitching right
Josh
now.
Donaldson.
Josh Donaldson sucks. What a bad person.
Here, we can
Anyway.
end with a story. Lefty. Fungible. Brandon Woodruff. What date is this? 10, 12, 18. I think we were all at this game.
Yes.
It was 0-0, or maybe it was 1-0 Dodgers in the postseason. And the Brewers had no hits or no runs, at least, against Clayton Kershaw, future Hall of Famer. And Brandon, this is back when pitchers still hit. Brandon Woodruff comes up lefty on lefty matchup and crushes one. 407 feet for a pitcher. Home run to tie up the game. Brewers eventually win that game. Lose the series, of course. But there we go. Brandon Woodruff, baby. Also putting an offer him for his Sorare card. So definitely should have guessed him.
Wow. Should have guessed him. Oh well, we didn't. Yeah. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to check out the socials. We appreciate all your support as always, of course. And you just attended batting practice. Now you're ready to get in the game. Peace.
Peace.